Hi guys, welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please, if you are new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. We do everything City, past and present here on these little vlogs, so I do try and inform and entertain, and there's some links on screen as well for Facebook and Twitter where I do post loads of City stuff. So if you follow a friend me on there, I do check every few days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you do get a chance, please have a check out my film and TV channel as well, which I try and inform and entertain on there, and all the latest films and TV drama here in the UK and from around the world. So if you can check that out, that will be fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoy today's feature. Hi, welcome to the latest edition of this season's 21-22 Matchday programme watch, as we have a look through all the away programmes that where City are playing in the Premier League, and the Cups as well will be coming up, of course. And we'll have a look through the magazine, see if there's any interest in the programmes. You can get most of these online. This one is available from Reach Sports. If you go online, they're the guys who do the City subscriptions, etc. So this Liverpool programme we're going to have a look at today is available on there. Not every club is covered by them, so you may sometimes have to go to the various internet sites to have a look for these if you want to buy them. But yeah, this is available through Reach. So yes, we're going to have a look at the Liverpool one today. Obviously, Leicester leads at the moment. We've only had Leicester, Spurs and Chelsea so far. So this is the next one. We're going to have a look at the Liverpool programme. Fantastic cover. Great cover, of course, of the sadly recently passed away, as I'm recording this, Roger Hunt, obviously a Liverpool and England legend, yeah. World Cup, a couple of league titles, an FA Cup, a lot of goals for Liverpool. I think 240-odd goals in 400-odd games or something like that. Fantastic player. And yeah, I think there'll be more tributes to him. Obviously, this was possibly put together with little time, but there's some nice tributes in it anyway, even allowing for that. But yeah, we're going to have a look at the Liverpool one today, see how it compares. It's a nice field programme, which they are. They're very glitzy. They're all coming out about 84 pages at the moment. That seems to be the standard for all these football programmes. And of course, it's the usual bind. It's not a staple one, so I've got the usual problems when I'm trying to take images and look at things of actually pressing down the spine, and obviously you're getting the spine sort of breaking just a little because you're having to do that. But that's the way it is at the moment with these binded covers. £3.50, which, as I said, say Leicester leads at the moment, but that was £3. So all credit to Chester. That was to Chester. So Leicester, that was all part of my Chester City programme. Get them back in the league. I won't mind a Leicester programme. Obviously, it was only £3, but obviously that it won for content. It didn't get a high score just because of the £3, but it was a nice touch, of course, when even City's, of course, has gone up to £3.50 as well. A flick through. I always have a quick flick through. Yeah, it looked very busy, quite modern. Writing's okay, readable with guys like me who have not great eyesight. Yeah, I liked it. It looked nice. A flick through, very Liverpoolish as you would expect. So sometimes I like and City don't do it, so I can't say we do it, but I like a little bit more information, if not on the two teams, so obviously in this case Liverpool and City, just a bit more perhaps history of the team we're playing as well. But that's me. That's from a fan's point of view, as a Liverpool fan, obviously you want to read about Liverpool, and the same with City, I suppose. But I'd like to see a bit on the opponents. But as I say, so my sort of angle at coming from these things is probably slightly a little bit different, perhaps, than some other people's. But as I say, I can still appreciate a lot of good opponent stuff as well in their programmes, and they're making them to sell to mainly their fans, aren't they? So there you go. Obviously, I say with the passing of Roger Hunt, we do get some words from Klopp on it in his introduction. It's quite nice, actually. There's some interesting. Obviously, I always have a flick through because the managers and the captain's statements are never usually overly exciting. Occasionally, we get a chairman's statement and stuff like that, but in some of the magazines programmes. But yeah, Klopp was very kind, very respectful to Pep and City in general, so that was great. And there's a great black and white image. I love black and white. You know me and black and white images. I love black and white images of Roger Hunt there. Obviously, there are colour ones as well, but that's a great image. A nice 3-page tribute. As I've said, I'm sure there'll be more to come over the month with Roger Hunt, but that was a nice 3-page tribute. Then we go on to a head-to-head stats, which is, as a Liverpool lead into it, which is fair enough. There's one or two interesting stats about City on there as well for for City fans, but it's okay. It was like, obviously, I put my stats into my little previews and stuff. It's just that sort of information, which was okay, which you don't always see in the football programs. There's 4 pages of one of their sort of new breakthrough players and one of their new heroes, if you like. I mean, I think in a similar way to United, I think they get built up, these young lads, don't they? Perhaps very, very early. We bit more reserved, I think, over at our place. We don't overly try and do it. The fans are sure, of course, will jump on good young players as we will, but we're a bit more patient. But yeah, Liverpool and teams like United seem to build up these young players, and hopefully it doesn't backfire on them. And of course, they're covering Curtis Jones in this. It's called the Redmond feature, and obviously they had a chat with Curtis Jones about how it's going and what he's done. So basic stuff. Nothing on the base. I always like to know what his favourite music is and what he likes to watch on telly and all this sort of thing. I like those silly non-football things from interviews, but obviously this is basically just on how it's going and how he's doing, obviously, in these early days with the club, of course, with the first team, if you like. Then we get City stuff. There's 3 pages on our season so far. It's quite good, actually. That's not always the thing. I mean, obviously, programmes do touch upon it, but that was nice of how we've done so far. And there's a couple of pages there of pen pictures, expect, and some, just an addition of the kits. So, like the 3 shirt kits, which you don't always see, which is all right. I like little things that you don't normally see in other people's programmes. Then you get away from City a little bit onto something called Storyboard, just a page on Ian Rush, who celebrates his 40th anniversary of his first league goal for Liverpool. That's a nice touch. Again, his history, isn't it? I watched Ian Rush myself many times, live and obviously on telly. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. And I say it's short and sweet. And that's sometimes with programmes you don't want loads of writing, do you? You just want to look at something and read it in a minute, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, and that's fine. And there's a little bit, of course, I think this is the 3rd time of asking, but I think this one is definitely underway. I mean, they've had ideas over the past. I remember doing a programme, vlog back, Liverpool versus City back in 2004, and they were talking about the Anfield extension then, or building a new stadium, actually, at the time. And I think there was 3 alternatives, but eventually they've obviously going to stay at Anfield, and we've seen the first development, haven't we, with the main stand. And now they're obviously going to do the Anfield Road stand, which will take the crowd over capacity over 60,000, which I think is their highest crowd. Yeah, the highest crowd in history is in the early 60,000s, I think, for FA Cup games. Yeah, the biggest league crowd isn't quite that, but still about 23,000 behind our highest. But we know they've got massive support. Of course, yeah, if you had 100,000 ground, I have no doubt they're all right. 100,000 might be a bit high, but certainly for Premier League games, they could probably fill it if they sell a few more season tickets, which they don't sell a vast amount of season tickets. They rely on all these people coming over just for the day and stuff like this, and that's how they make the money. They can charge a little bit more, of course, but there's a nice 3. Anyway, I'm digressing. I'm getting a bit more talking about events, and so yeah, it's 3 pages anyway. This Anfield Road extension, talking about the crowds. They talk about the past big crowds, etc. So yeah, that was interesting. I like that, and it'll be nice. I mean, obviously it doesn't change. I mean, I always found getting in and out of Anfield was okay, as in getting to the ground. It was always a bit of a pain getting in, but obviously if they're going to expand the Anfield Road, then perhaps it might make it better, but perhaps not. I'm not too sure. There's a backstory that looks at a game against City, a 3-2 win back in the year 2000, which is okay. Look at a new book on Bill Shankly, one of the legends of football, of course. Brian Reed wrote that of the Mirror. And then to substantiate how many fans they have got, there's sort of 5 pages there of fans' images and a kids' quiz page thrown in, but lots of fans with birthdays and passing away and that sort of thing, and just being to their first game, all that sort of thing. So that sort of backs up the sort of number of fans they get in from all over the place. Let's be honest about it. I mean, all credit to them. That's what they get. That's what Liverpool is. 30 years of the Premier League is a little feature they're running at the moment, and they look at players that have played for Liverpool from Brazil. So that's a nice little thing to sort of, obviously we know some of the newer ones, but obviously I didn't know some of the older ones. The Man City files is good as well. I like that. I think I like this Man City files. It looks at the last 5 encounters. So obviously against other teams, it might be a bit more positive, but obviously in the last 5 encounters against City, of course, we've won 3. There's been one draw and they've won one. So it looks better. It looks good for us. But as I said, if they're going to pick the last handful of games, which is the last 5 games, obviously depending which team they're playing, it'll be different. But that's nice to see that they didn't bulk away from the fact of advertising City wins, which a lot of these programmes don't. They don't make a big thing of opponents beating them. It's always what they've done. So that was a nice touch, as I said, but they have to be consistent in picking the 5 games. So it just happens to be that we've had a good last 5 games against them. There's a thing on match day ticket price. It's quite interesting. Yeah, they've got a couple of sections right in the corners, I think, of the extended main stand where it's only £9. And I think, obviously it'll be a sort of booked up months and years in advance, I assume, but just £9 for a ticket at Anfield. I didn't know that at all. £9 for a ticket, and then I think the next low price. It's a bit like Cities. Everyone thinks we pay this £325 for a season card, but obviously they're very limited, those numbers, and then it jumps to £650 for the next cheapest sort of thing to stand up, but. Yeah, so it's interesting that, because I never knew that they had £9 tickets. There you go. That's all credit to them. And then it jumps to 37. I think the highest is 59 as well. And there was no indication that they're depending on who they're playing, those prices alter. It's for every game. So that was interesting as well. Like City, we put a little bit of a premium in, don't we, for the bigger games, etc. So the highest is £59. I think that's a lot cheaper than our highest, to be honest with you. I don't know off the top of my head, but so that was interesting. It's interesting to see the match day ticket price. As I said, I didn't read too much into it, but there may be changes to that and stuff. But based on this programme, that's what they were showing us anyway. There's a nice section of match reports and images. Yeah, very concise little page on each, and it was a nice mix of images and a little bit of a match report of the goals, etc. I like that. It was very well laid out, very good to look at. A little quiz on Fabinho, just 6 questions on the guy. Nothing about him not scoring open goals in that little quiz, but I've been a bit mean there, answer. Of course, you get your usual academy stuff and women's football stuff. There's a 4-page Q&A with Jota, which, all right, isn't asking him his favourite music and stuff again, but it's okay if you want to find out a little bit more about Jota and how he's feeling and how he's doing this season. So there you go. I mean, overall, it is there's lots of other bits and pieces as well, that's obviously in there. So overall, did they say about the ads? Yeah, the ads in it. Let's go back to the top there. 18 pages in the 84 is like promotion, sponsors, selling shirts, ads, that sort of thing. So that's 21% of the programme, which is about normal. That's towards the low end. I mean, 21%, 22%. You do get up to 28, 29%, obviously. But so it's down with the lower ones, which is pretty good. It is a nice programme. As you say, not too much history side. I particularly liked some of the standout things was looking back at the last 5 games. Obviously, it worked well for us. And the little match reports and the way they lay it out, and it's very concise and nice. There's nothing special with the interviews. It's nice. Of course, it was a bit different because of Roger Hunt, and look back at that. But beside that, there wasn't loads of history stuff. Obviously, got Ian Rush in it and stuff like that. But it's a nice little programme. It's a nice little read. Probably if I sat down and read it cover to cover, I'd probably take you 45 minutes or something like that. I'm a quick reader anyway, but as I say, I wouldn't do that because there's stuff in it I'm not overly bothered with it. Like the Q&A, I usually look at the questions, and if I like the question, I'll look at the answer. If I don't, I'll go and have a look at the next question and see if it's worth reading. And that's what I do. That's just time is precious, isn't it? Well, there you go. But very well put together, nicely laid out. Lots of info, not quite as up there with the Leicester programme as far as content is concerned. As far as presentation, I would probably put it towards the top. So not as good as the Leicester, but a little bit better than the other 2 we've looked at. Obviously, the other 2 being Spurs and Chelsea, wasn't it? So I am going to give it. So Leicester have got a 7.5. Spurs and Chelsea both got 6.5. So I'm going to split the middle. I'm going to split the kipper with this one. So we're going to have a lot of these guys, and obviously the Spurs and Chelsea are a 6.5 out of 10. But I did rate Spurs slightly higher, so they're above it. But I will give this Chelsea one a 7 out of 10. So I'll put it into Liverpool one a 7 out of 10. So I'll put it into second spot. So there you go. So Liverpool moves into second spot. And off the top of my head, I can't remember who our next away game is. So please accept me. I think it's Bruges, but I won't be getting one for that one. Anyway, please accept my apologies. I'm not too sure who the next away game is, but so I'm not sure who I will be looking at next. But stay tuned if you like this anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had a keen programme collector, let me know anything that perhaps I've missed that was outstanding for you in this. But I hope you enjoyed this little show anyway. And as I say, we'll carry on all season as we do with our one for the City programmes as well, where we have a flick through those, don't forget, and see if there's anything of interest. Obviously, we've got Mr. Dr. Gary James in our City one this season, which is fantastic. So he always does some great stuff. So any ideas as well, he's always after ideas, so please let me know if you can't contact him directly, and I'll pass it on to him as well to have a look at. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Whatever you're going to do, rest day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families, more importantly. Let's all look after each other to meet here again on the Citizens channel. Or perhaps please have a look at my film and TV channel if you want to have a little rest from football. I'll try and inform and entertain on there as well, so have a look at that if you get a chance. So point someone in my direction who might be interested in that. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, all I ever ask, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.